Just testing to make sure you guys can hear this. Go ahead and let me know if you can hear me. If you're tuning in, go ahead and click the link in the description to attend the event and interact. I can't see what's going on in the Facebook group. So go ahead, for those of you who are watching, click the link in the description. It'll be an eCam link, and this will add you into the event so that I can see what you guys are posting, what questions you have, and we can interact together. So first, let me know, can you guys hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? It looks like this thing's picking up my mic this time. So go ahead and drop a yes or no in the comments. Let me know if you guys can hear me or not. You guys able to hear me? And then we can get started. We'll give like a few minutes for people to get in here, and we will jump into this topic today. Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Mario, thank you for letting me know. This is going to be a good topic today. I feel like I remember asking this question as well. So first of all, happy Monday to you guys. Hope you had an awesome weekend. So I'm getting yes and yes. Awesome. You guys are able to hear me. So first of all, happy Monday. It's hard to believe it's almost the end of January, but we're all here. And let's make 2022 an amazing year. So I hope you guys have figured out what your goals are going to be for the new year and who you want to be at the end of this new year. If you figured out your goals and you're on your way, go ahead and like this video. Let me know, like, you've made the decision here, right? If you're here, you've made a decision, right? If you're here, you've made a decision that things are not good enough, right? Like, this is not good enough. Life is not good enough. And that's such an important realization to make, especially around, of course, the new year. So it looks like we'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll get started. And for those of you guys who are tuning in today, got a few announcements here coming up. So we'll just go ahead and get started, and people can jump in as we go here. So first of all, welcome to the group, guys. This group was normally in the past has been known as Beat Your Anxiety. Now I'm pivoting a little bit here towards working with professionals and entrepreneurs and business owners and helping them with their anxiety and to be able to convert prospects easier. However, this information is still going to apply to you, even if you're not running a business, if you're not working for yourself. It doesn't matter. Like, what we're going to talk about here, what I've already talked about in the past and what I'm going to talk about going forward, all of this stuff is still going to apply to you. It's still, how people operate in their work life, in their professional life, is the same way you operate in your personal life. These habits spill over. So for those of you guys who have been tuning in, this content's only going to get better and better. Except now I'm really going to be focusing on how this shows up in the professional world, how this shows up and how we present ourselves as professionals or business owners, or if you have an audience out there, you're a coach or consultant of some sort. These habits that we have in our personal life, whether it's like an attachment style issue, maybe you have like an anxious attachment style issue in your personal life, you better believe this is going to show up in your business or in your work life, right? So regardless, this is all going to be, really, really just transformative content for you going forward. And, I hope you've already been able to take some really amazing learnings and content and insights away from this group so far. So this is going to be great, a great new year, powerful new year. And today we get to talk about where anxiety actually comes from, right? Like, I'm guessing if you're here, you've asked this question, like, Why do I feel this? Where is this anxiety coming from? If you've asked this question to yourself, go ahead and put me in the comments, put me in the chat. Let me know this is me. Yep. If you've asked this question, if you've ever wondered where is my anxiety coming from, go ahead and put me in the chat. Let me know if this is pertaining to you. So, first of all, let's talk about what it is, because oftentimes clients come through my door and they tell me they have an anxiety disorder or they have panic disorder or they're feeling anxious. And my first question is for people is, how do you know it's anxiety? Like, versus anything else. And the reason I ask this question, and by the way, these are questions that you also want to ask yourself. These are questions you're also going to ask yourself. Why? Because it's like, now you're being your own coach. Now you're being your own hypnotist. Now you're being your own leader, right? So if you want to start to coach yourself to a better life, and again, for those of you watching, if you want to interact, click the link in the description to join the video, or else I can't see your comments just in the Facebook group. So if you're just in the Facebook group watching, I won't be able to see your comments. So jump into the eCam link and that will bring you right to where everybody is here today. So the reason I ask this, and here's a question you're going to want to ask yourself, is how do I know this is anxiety, like, versus anything else? What are you experiencing? And often some of these things are like sweaty palms, my heart is racing, I have like tunnel vision, I can't formulate a sentence, I get like tremors, I get shaky, there's a feeling of nervousness, breathing fast, the list goes on and on. How, some people get gastrointestinal discomfort or end up having to run to the restroom all the time because they're anxious. I remember I used to have an issue with this in the past. I have a client with this issue right now. It's like our bodies like speed everything up and everything's moving much faster. And we even end up talking faster when we're anxious, right? How many for you does this resonate with? Like, what symptoms are you experiencing? Post in the comments. How do you know you're experiencing anxiety? Like, go inside yourself, answer this question, because now you're going to be your own coach. Now I'm teaching you how to be your own coach and to start to heal this on your own. So how do you know it's anxiety? Are you experiencing something? Or did somebody tell you? This is so important to recognize that you've come to this conclusion on your own and you're not being gaslit by doctors and therapists and your friends and family. This is very important to come to this conclusion on your own. Like, even if a doctor tells you it's anxiety, make sure you agree. Oftentimes, just because somebody is in an authoritative position and we get this perception that they know more than us, we just automatically take on what they say is true. Right? I had a client who came to me very frustrated with her doctors because they were giving her the runaround. And I said, nothing matters as much as what you think. A lot of clients I work with are diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorders and all kinds of things that are not helpful. So I do not work with disorders. I do not treat disorders. What I'm here to help you with are the symptoms, the things that are underneath this umbrella of what you may be calling anxiety disorder. Therapists and doctors need to label you because they have to submit to insurance companies. That's the reason why you're labeled with anxiety, depression, panic disorder, because they need to submit to insurance. That's it. That's the only purpose these labels serve, is to diagnose you. Okay. And that's not what I do. Again, my goal is to help you move through these labels and through these diagnoses by helping you with the symptoms, the actual things that you're experiencing. So again, go back and ask yourself, post in the comments, how do you know it's anxiety? Go ahead and let me know, what are you experiencing that you know it's anxiety? It's important for you to come up and make that discernment yourself. So how do you know it's anxiety? Go ahead and put it in the comments. And again, if you're tuning in, if you want to interact, if you want to do some coaching with me here and learning, go ahead and make sure you're joining with the link in the description, or I can't see your comments. So go ahead and post in the comments, is it sweaty palms? Like, is your heart racing? Do you feel like, I know I feel kind of wobbly and insecure. I feel like I can't formulate a sentence. So how do you know it's anxiety? Let's start to help you coach yourself through this. And then why are we struggling with this is the next part of this video. Like, why do people struggle? And so many people don't stop and ask themselves these questions, like, why am I confused? Why do I not know what to do? This is also very important, because what's happening here is you're starting to, if you have attachment style issues, if you've ever struggled with enmeshment. How many of you have ever struggled with enmeshment? Meaning you tend to have you tend to try to merge with other people. You try to become them. You try to take on their habits, the things they say, the things they do. And this is called enmeshment. It's like you're trying to become them. This is also a defense mechanism, and it's a way to protect ourselves. Is to try and be like literally someone else. So if you struggle with enmeshment and you don't know where you end and other people begin, and I literally sit and coach people through this. I take clients through exercises who struggle with enmeshments to teach them where you end and others begin, where your feelings end and others' feelings begin, where your habits end and others' habits begin, where your thoughts end and others' thoughts begin. Like, you want to start to discern where's the line here. Yep. So keep commenting below. So Lillian says, I've struggled with enmeshment. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know a whole lot of coaches out there who work with enmeshment specifically. I know Brianna McWilliams is amazing. She has a thriving YouTube channel, and she's an attachment styles expert. But it's like if somebody's not training you to think for yourself, you're going to automatically try to be that other person. So it's just, again, an old pattern that you've had, but you can untangle this. You can unwire this. And this is something I specialize in as a hypnotist and a life coach. So if you need help with enmeshment, you can, what I'll do is I will drop the link to my calendar here. And for those of you who want to know more, who want more of a one-on-one experience, you want more traction and momentum in your life, then we can go ahead and get on a call and we can figure out what's going on there. So I'm just going to drop that. I'm just going to drop this in the links here real quick. Okay, so jump on a call with me if you want more help with that. Now, so let's go back to this question of why do we struggle? Like, why are we running around like chickens with our head cut off? Why do most people not have the solution? And there's various reasons. First of all, most of us are very misinformed when it comes to anxiety. And let me know as I'm rolling through these, which one resonates with you? Why are you confused about this? Point me into what you think in the comments. We're misinformed. We're confused. This is why we struggle with anxiety. We're misinformed or we're confused. There's a lack of emotional education in society. There's a huge gap here in that we're not taught about our emotions. We don't know much about our bodies. What they teach in school is the parts of the body. Like, here's your organs, here's your heart, here's your lungs, here are the muscle groups, here's your muscles. You're not taught actually how your body works, how your body generates emotions. So there's just an overall lack of emotional education in society, in the system, and probably in your family. And there's a lack of understanding. Again, this goes back to lack of education. There's a lack of understanding of where your emotions come from. There's a lot of gaslighting in society is the next one. There's a lot of gaslighting from doctors telling you that I had a client who came to me, and a therapist kept insinuating there was something wrong with her. Right? She came to me because she was struggling with depression, and her therapist kept blaming her, telling her she was the problem. That she's flawed, that there's something wrong with her, and that's why there's nothing wrong with you. First of all, if you have anxiety. Yeah. Yep. So when you know better, when you know more, there's more resources available, right? When you have more awareness, you have more resources available. You see that? If you're limiting your thinking, you're not going to go looking for resources. Do you see that? So yeah, perfect. Yep. A lot of the media, people are confused about. People are struggling with anxiety because the media insinuates, they don't say this directly, but what prescription drug commercials imply is that this is the solution for your anxiety. This is the solution for your panic. And that's why people gather like sheep in a herd and they follow this method this way. And then, another commercial comes on. And then they follow that method. Let me go get that drug. And then, and now I'm seeing commercials for Noom, right? How many of you have seen commercials for Noom, the app? And then, everybody sees commercial. And then the herd goes all this way. Do you see how everyone gathers in a herd? And they do this thing and then they do this thing. And stop following the herd. The herd is not looking to heal themselves. First of all, the herd is looking for simple tips and tricks, simple tips and tricks and shortcuts to heal themselves. Stop following the herd. Stop following the media. Stop following the news. The news doesn't give a damn about your health, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. If you haven't seen that already, the news doesn't give a shit. Think of it. The news is a business. They care about the views they get. They care about stirring up emotions in you to create an impact on you so you keep tuning in. So stop following the herd. And this may be the first and last time someone ever tells you this, but stop going this way with everyone and stop going this way with everyone and start going the direction of people who have healed themselves. Start following the people who have done the work, and it's evident. There's evidence they have done the work. Okay, and that's a rant for another time. I could rant about that all day. I'm telling you, this was one of the biggest insights that set me free from my anxiety, was to stop taking advice from people who have not healed their own. Do you guys hear what I'm saying here? What are you hearing me say here? How can you, thanks for your comments here. How can you create safety within yourself, from Lillian? Yep, so Lillian says, how can you create safety within yourself when you experience fear and anxiety? So what this really comes down to is changing your habits, guys. Your emotions are habits. You create your emotions through habits. How do you start creating safety? First of all, there's a lot of different. First of all, I want you to recognize there's not one direction here. Like, you can come at this from a bunch of angles, right? There's a lot of tools to start to feel safe. But before you can even do that, I want you to first ask yourself, why do I feel unsafe? That needs to be answered first. So for Lillian, I want you to ask yourself, why do I feel unsafe? Where do you feel unsafe? So before you can start to fix safe, first find out why you feel unsafe. Okay? So this is what's missing here. This is why you're probably getting stuck in paralysis analysis. When clients come to me, and if somebody came to me with that question, I'd say, how do you know you're not safe? How do you know you're not safe? Okay? So come back, let me know, and we're going to continue on here. Keep dropping your questions and comments in the comment box below. Again, you're going to want to go to the link in the description to interact. I'm not doing this through the Facebook page anymore. So guys, join with the eCam link in the description. If you want questions answered, if you want more personal insights, which I'm excited to give you, be sure to join in that link. So here's the reason why people run around with like chickens with their heads cut off, and why people end up struggling with anxiety their whole lives. I would say the biggest culprit is the lack of emotional education in our system, which is intentional. It's intentional to keep you stuck. It's intentional to keep you reliant on the system. Because if you're not relying on somebody, they can't manipulate you. Do you see here? If you can't rely on Noom, the app, then they won't have your business. If you can't rely on the government, they can't control you. See that? You want to start to, again, if you struggle with enmeshment and attachment styles, you probably have a habit of over relying on other people for things that you should not be relying on people on. Stop relying on other people for your safety. Big one here. Big insight that I learned to set me free from my anxiety. Stop relying on other people for your emotional safety or physical safety. Stop relying on others for that. That's going to keep you in a constant place of anxiety, because you never know what someone's going to do, but you can always know what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. So you want to start to turn that back inside. Okay. So these are the reasons why people are struggling. Misinformation, gaslighting, manipulation. A lot of this is done covertly. This is not overt at all. Lack of emotional education from our system, from your own parents, from your childhood, from other people around you. Hey, go do this, go try that meditation, go read that book. Is that working for you? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these strategies. I'm asking you, are they working for you? Is doing that meditation working for you? Is reading that book working for you? Is working with that life coach or therapist, is that working for you? Is taking that prescription drug working for you? Again, here's what's missing is the step of going inside. If you struggle with enmeshment, you're missing this step of checking with inside yourself. How many of you is this resonating with? Like this video. Let me know if this is resonating with you. This is such important stuff. If nothing else, this is probably going to be one of the most important videos you ever watch. So what's resonating with you? What has been your aha moment so far? Go ahead and put it in the comments and let me know. This helps me guide you into what you're resonating with, so I know which direction to go in. So go ahead and let me know. Go back and rewatch this video, okay? So here's why you struggle. It's one of these things. You're either getting the runaround from your doctor, from your therapist, from your friends, from your family. Stop running around. Start thinking for yourself. Start educating yourself. Right? So here's the next part of this video: how to get back in control. How to get your life back in control. Where do we start? Because oftentimes we get paralyzed because we ask questions like, okay, how do I get rid of anxiety? And for people who ask me this question, who come in my door, clients I'm working with, recognize first, you cannot get rid of anxiety. Anxiety is something we are born with. Anxiety is an innate emotion, meaning we are born with it. That it's something we need for survival. So if you're currently asking, how do I get rid of my anxiety? How do I eliminate it? Change that goal, right? Maybe a better goal is, how can I reduce my anxiety? Or how can I feel more comfortable in front of a crowd or speaking on a Zoom call or in a meeting? How can I minimize or heal or relax more when I'm on a date? Or when I'm speaking to my mom or my dad, right? Wherever you typically get charged up, a better goal is, how can I reduce it, or how can I start to feel more relaxed, versus how do I eliminate anxiety from my life? You will never eliminate anxiety from your entire life, because anxiety is here to keep you alive. It's the reason you're alive today. Anxiety is the reason you haven't gone and walked into the middle of a highway. Right? That anxiety is going to stop you. It's going to take over your body. It's going to say, whoop, alert, do not go further, or you're in danger. Right? Anxiety is the reason you're not walking on the edge of a cliff or jumping off a cliff, right? Because your body's telling you this is a threatening situation. Now, there are people who do more dangerous stuff, and some people have smaller amygdalas than others. and they're walking tight ropes over a canyon, not for me, but some people, there's just not that much fear there. And okay, but start to recognize all of us have this mechanism to some degree, and it's trying to protect us. So the first step here to get back in control of your life and of your feelings, including anxiety, is to start to first be friends with it, start to allow it to be there, start to wonder why it's there. Like, hey, anxiety, thanks for showing up, right on schedule, right when I'm about to, get on this call, right before I get on a meeting, my heart starts to pump. What are you trying to tell me? Anxiety, what are you trying to tell me? What does this mean? Where does this come from? Like, did I get anxiety when I was speaking in front of a group in high school or something, or in front of middle school? See, you can start to kind of follow this feeling back to an earlier time, an earlier situation, which is the type of work I do with my clients. And here again, I'm teaching you how to be your own hypnotist, how to be your own coach. So follow that feeling back to an earlier time, an earlier situation in which you felt that feeling, and that's going to take you on the path to healing and fixing this. The next step is here. So on top of educating yourself in your emotions, start to read books about emotions. Start to read books about anxiety. Educate yourself. There's not enough psychoeducation in this system. And that's 50% of the equation. Every client I talk to, I say 50% of the equation is going to be the change work, is going to be the actual work we do together. And the other 50% is going to be the actual psychoeducation. Is like understanding of your emotions, why they're there, why they exist. There's so many books out there, guys. I can recommend a good one already. The Fear and Anxiety Solution, you can get on Amazon. Really amazing book that really is going to help you start to kind of set yourself free and discern, anxiety from other things and teach you how to get back in control. The Fear and Anxiety Solution, that's on Amazon, and I'm trying to remember the author's name. I can't remember the author's name, but you'll find it on Amazon. So there's so many great books out there just to arm yourself with information. Just start educating yourself on your emotions. If you don't do this, if you don't educate yourself on your emotions, you will continue to reign helpless. You will continue to be helpless. Okay? So what have you all taken away so far from this? Post in the comments. What have you all taken away so far from this? First of all, thank yourself for being here, because thank yourself for showing up. Because, obviously you've said to yourself, there's something I want, and you're going after it. So first of all, give yourself like a pat on the back, an applause for showing up here on this Monday morning. I know we all wish we could have a longer weekend, but hey, we got to get down to business, right? So thank yourself for being here. I will no longer be doing lives on Wednesdays. So we're only doing lives once a week. So again, thank yourself for showing up here. It's going to be really important for you to participate now. If you want to take away more, to get more out of this group, you got to engage. To get more out of this group, you got to show up. You got to ask questions. I can't mind read you guys. So be sure to jump in, ask your questions, post to this group. And let's wrap up here. Here's the next step to start to get back in power of your emotions. Is to start to trust your feelings and stop gaslighting yourself. If you've ever dated someone, or you've been in a relationship with someone, family and friends, and they said, oh, well, you're just being too emotional, or that's not right, or what you're feeling is invalid. It can be hard for you to start to trust yourself again. Is this familiar to you guys? How many of you have heard this before? There's something wrong with you, and there's something wrong with your emotions, basically. Put me in the chat. Put me in the comments if you've ever heard this before. You're being made wrong for your emotions. And of course, you're going to run around you're going to run around the only thing that you can work with. The one thing that works. You're going to ignore the one thing that works because you've been told to ignore that one thing that works, your feelings. So you get to start to practice trusting what you're feeling is true. How is what you're feeling not true? How is what you're feeling not true? It's impossible to not be true. It's there. It's there. So it's got to be true. You see that? And if you're still struggling with self-trust, I recorded 2 videos last week and they're up at my YouTube channel. I recorded one on self-doubt, one on self-trust, and overthinking. Go check out those videos on my YouTube channel if you're still struggling with self-trust. Really, really great content in there. And, I'll continue to put out more going forward. But those, you got to start with those. So go check them out sometime today to play catch up here. And the last thing here, to really start to get back in control of your life and back in control of your decisions, back in control of your habits, is you gotta learn about how the nervous system works. And you gotta understand hypnosis, really. Hypnosis is what's missing here. Hypnosis is something that's going on all around you. It's the reason why, again, we get into herds and we follow over here and then we follow over here thinking this is the solution, is understand we're all influencing each other. We're all persuading and influencing each other, even in a friendly conversation out with your friend, right? We're trying to convince each other of things. We're trying to persuade and influence each other. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's how we relate. There's only something wrong with it if it's malicious, right? But for the most part, this is typically how people try to relate. But understand, you gotta know where, again, we're going back to discern where you stop and where others begin. And if you need more help with this, if you need help to start to separate yourself from the crowd, to separate yourself from your mom, to separate yourself from your best friend, to separate yourself from your husband or your wife, you gotta start being your own individual. I take clients through practical exercises, practical thinking exercises, practical awareness exercises. And I engage with you and watch this mechanism fire and train this mechanism to fire. So you can actually start to realize, oh, that's others and this is me. That's others and this is me. That's others, this is me. You got to start to train that piece of you, or you will always forever struggle with knowing who you are and separate from others. So again, if you need more help with that, I'm going to drop my link to my calendar in the comments. And again, I have a group going every other Tuesday evening. And this is what the kind of work that we talk about. So if you've been in my group for 3 months, right? Raise your hand if you've been in this group for a few months now and your life isn't changing. I can imagine some of you watching here, you've been in this group, you've learned some things, right? You're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I get that. I can agree with that, or I don't agree with that, right? Like you're learning. If your life isn't changing, this is why. If you're not seeing momentum, it's because you need more one-on-one assistance, or you need someone holding you accountable, right? So if you want more momentum, if you want more traction, then click the link, get on a call with me, and I'll help set you up in a place where I think is going to help you the most, whether it's one-on-one with me, whether it's in the group coaching program with other like-minded people who are all struggling with the same thing. If you're just showing up to these lives and then you're going about your day, your life's not going to change much, right? I can only give you so much in 30 minutes. So if you want more traction, click the link, jump on my calendar. I'm excited to speak to you, those of you who are really ready to build momentum. And if you struggle with enmeshment, I go through a specific training with you so we can fire this mechanism that says, nope, that's not me, that's others. So it's one thing I love to work on with people. So as we wrap up here, what was your biggest takeaway? For those of you watching, post in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway today? What really resonated with you? What was your oh my gosh, I had no idea? Because this helps me guide, this lets me know, first of all, I'm going in the right direction with you guys and you're understanding what I'm saying and that this is helpful. So what was helpful to you today? What have you learned here today? What are you ready to take into the rest of your week now and to maybe test and try? Go ahead and post in the comments below. Remember, the more you put in this group, the more you put in to the engagement, the more you're going to get out of it, the more feedback I can give you as well. So what resonated with you the most? What have you learned here today? If you may never hear some of this again. So I will put this video up on my YouTube channel. And you can find all of the videos about self-doubt, mindfulness. There's lots of videos, other videos to do with anxiety. I will record a video on enmeshment. I think this is just so crucial, especially if you're a people pleaser. For those of you who are a people pleaser, go ahead and let me know, right? Like this video if you're a people pleaser. Again, this is all about starting to separate where you stop and others begin. And this is going to help you get your freedom back. This is going to help you be back in control of your emotions and of your feelings and of your habits. So yeah, Maria, trust your feelings. Yeah. And what I mean by that is just stop doubting them. Just stop doubting them. Just recognize when they're there and just stop right there. Okay, there's anxiety. Okay. Or, okay, there's anger. Okay. I feel sad. Okay. And it just stops right there. Like, stop the dialogue right there and just notice it's there. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird not to question it or rationalize it away or make yourself wrong for it, right? Because we're so used to getting ourselves out of pain. We don't sit with the pain. If you don't sit with the pain, you'll never solve it. And no prescription drug is going to solve it for you. I'll tell you that right now. Even physical pain. Physical pain is not solved by a drug. It's solved by you fixing your mechanics. It's solved by going to some doctor or somebody to help you get your body back in alignment. The drug is not going to solve your pain issues. See that? Same works physically, same with emotional pain. A drug is not going to solve your emotional pain. It can help you balance things. It can help you from hitting rock bottom. I totally get it. I went on that path too, and they were helpful for a while. But when I really wanted to heal and I really wanted to start to attract something different, that's where the work comes in. That's when you got to start to turn inside and do something different internally. Okay? So I hope this was so informative to you guys. Stop following everyone else. Start to trust yourself. Start to align yourself with others you can trust. Do you feel like I vibe with you? Is a great question. Because I don't expect to vibe with everyone. I'm not even going to try to vibe with everyone. But there are going to be people that I do vibe with, and we vibe with each other. And it feels like we speak the same language. And those are the people I can help. I know I cannot help everyone. It's not my goal, right? But ask yourself, does this feel right? Does this feel like me? Does this feel like what I want? And that's again, we're building this where I end and you begin. Does this feel like me? Do I want to know more about this? Do I like this group, right? So start to ask yourself these questions to start to create that division between you and other people. I will go on more about enmeshment in the future. Again, we're only doing lives here on Mondays from here on out for right now. However, I will have events coming up in the future. So if you want more, first of all, post to this group, let me know. Post to this video, let me know what you want to learn. Post below this video actually today, right now. Post today now before you get off. What do you want to learn more of? And this is going to help guide me on what content to continue to bring you guys and what posts to put up. And I'm excited to share more with you guys. So share more with me and I can share more with you, right? So everybody have a great rest of your week. Go back and watch this. I mean, this is the core. This is the fundamentals. This is the scaffolding of your healing journey. So everybody, this is Lydia from Convert with Confidence, originally Beat Your Anxiety. Again, we're still going to be talking about the same things here because again, the problems that we have in our personal life are always going to duplicate everywhere else in our professional lives and in our business and in our work and in our relationships with our colleagues and our bosses. And it's so important if you want to change the way people see you, you want to change the way people receive you, then you got to be in control of your vibe. You got to be in control of what you're putting out there. And that's where the magic really happens. So, thanks Lillian, thanks Mario, thanks Maria. Thank you all for your comments. Continue to post below what you want to learn. This helps me pick my topics for the month. And I will see you all during the week. Post this video. Post your comments to the channel. I'm sorry. Post your comments to the group as well, and we're going to get in a conversation and dialogue there as well. So I will see you guys later in this week. Bye bye, guys.